question is, what went well for you in March and what are you going to double down on in April?
Well, to start it off on my like one-to-ones, I've always been told I'm quite giddy on the phone. So I get quite excited and I have a bit of a sales voice when I'm on the phone and I hate it. And you can definitely tell it on when I'm listening back to calls. So I think slowing down what I'm speaking and just having a sentence and saying the next one. And then just speaking a bit more like I'm speaking to a pal rather than like I'm literally speaking to a prospect. I feel like I've done better on that this month. Not where I want to be. I'm getting there. So I'm going to just try and do that as much as possible going into April. Um, I definitely say that's one of the things I mainly need to work on. That's just because I'm constantly hyper. But I mean, I'm like drinking Coke Zeros all day, so just
Thank you very much for
mm,
sharing. And you're right. We may all have a telephone voice, which is very prim and proper, but we want to be speaking to people as if we're talking to our besties and slowing it down. I think that's a top tip, mate. Thank you very much for sharing. If we come to Dimitri, what's one good thing that happened for you in March and what you're going to double down on in April?
So yeah, a lot of new things because it just started in March, so everything has been brand spanking new. Yeah, in terms of what's worked good is the initial idea was me to chase warm replies, but I found out pretty quick I couldn't rely just on that, so I started chasing every no. I'm probably annoying, but until I get an objection I can work with, I try to not stop,
Mm.
or at least ask them when would be a better time to get back. That's worked in, I'd say, about 20% of the bookings has come from no's, maybe even more. So that's good. That's an idea, something I want to automate as much as I can possibly for the next month. And yeah, a lot more cold calls. Basically, is what I'm switching. That's gonna be my main focus.
Thank you very much for sharing, Dimitri, and well done. Congratulations for joining. And going for the nose is hella strong. In a previous coach on call session with a really cool guy called Anis, and he kind of said, Dimitri, if you knew that by going through 19 no's, you would eventually get to the yes on the 20th, would you go through the 19?
Yeah, but also I'm gonna do 8 hours a day. So yeah, don't mind it.
I hear that, dude. I hear that. And the last bit, one more. Can I give you one more unsolicited tip? When we're in sales and we're cold calling people or we're prospecting, we have this fear that we're annoying them. And I'd love for people to remove that mindset for the reason being, your company exists because there was a problem. What you're looking for is people that are facing that problem because you have a solution to it. But not everybody does have the problem. But the only way you're going to find out is by reaching out to people. And if they say no, no problem. We move on to the next person. Sound cool?
Sounds
Awesome.
perfect.
All right, cool, my dude. Kiani, what's one thing that worked well for you in March and that you're going to double down on in April?
I realize that the most demos I'm booking is by being on the phone. So just getting the right persona on the phone makes me reach my target. So I'm gonna double down on that, but making sure that I speak immediately to the right target persona and using some of the free tools that were mentioned before, like Apollo and Live Chat, to be sure that I'm have the right phone numbers and just make more.
Cool. Make more dials and smiles. I love that, Kiani. Thank you very much for sharing.